4.4 banners are now revealed, folks, and today I will be telling you, are any of these units worth pulling for? Let's get into it. Beautiful bird Xianyun. Now that's a sweet madame if I've ever seen one. To me, her pull value, well, if you're a non-Xiao player, it's fine. Xianyun is Gene 2.0. Sure, she can enable your characters to do plunges, which may actually find some use of some more lesser loved units, such as D-Luke. Yet, in general, most characters won't bother weaving plunges into their regular rotations. It'll work, but won't outperform their regular combos. She heals slower over time, unlike Jean, who does a front-loaded healing blast. It then takes longer for your characters to lose HP, so Xianyun will be more comfortable building up Verena's fanfare stacks. So for non-Jean havers, decent pull value. But if you own Jean and don't care for plunges, less than mediocre desirability. Xiao is a unit who's always had very good AoE. His main flaw, less than stellar single target. Xianyun solves this. Her plunging buff only applies to one enemy at a time. So now, Xiao's single target will become a lot more formidable. Not only that, but this opens some gateways to new best-in-slot Xiao teams. Her heals also assist Xiao's HP loss mechanics. It feels like Xianyun was made for us Xiao lovers, much like how Shen has for Ayaka fans. Besides Xiao lovers, future Gaming mains will also thrive. There is something to know though. Xianyun is a very unique support. We can assume she's releasing ahead of her time. Think of how Yae released without Dendro, felt pretty bad, then Dendro came and buffed her. Aside from Xiao and Gaming, we don't have many plunge-based DPS characters. In the future, if we get more plunging DPSs, or DPS characters that will exist with Xianyun's mechanics in mind, her pull value in general will increase. Investment-wise, she will not be too bad. ER, a supportive set and weapon, and you'll be good to go. So build-wise, I expect Xianyun to be free-to-play friendly. So her pull value depends. For Lamenters, very high, absolutely pick up. For the rest of you guys, skippable, but has a few benefits. I'm gonna rank Xianyun at B tier. Pretty replaceable with Jean, perhaps in the future we'll see more reasons to pull for her in other cases. Now on to one of your 5 a day, Nahida. Her pull value is without a doubt very high. I get it, most people don't like the phrase must pull, but if I was to be objective, Nahida would be at least a top 5 must pull. So okay, why is that? She turns Dendro from a whatever element to very powerful, and enables some of the most powerful reactions in the game, namely Nilu Bloom and Hyphen Quick Bloom teams. She's super new player friendly. Most Dendro comps only want high levels and EM artifacts. She slots excellently with all Dendro synergistic units. Great cons to build upon as well. C2 offers a huge upgrade to all Dendro teams you play, so to have a long-lived players in the audience, vertical investment is a great option to take if you've already got C0. If you want the most bang for your buck and the strongest flexible option, Nahida is the way to go. She has little to no competition in her role. Nahida's a Dendro Archon for Pete's sake. The only Dendro support that can try to come close is Baizhu. In aggravate teams, he is a much more comfortable option, plus he can hold TDDS, and his lower Dendro amp is preferable for that team. You can also use Baizhu over Nahida in Alhaitham teams. Less damage, but once again more comfort. You can get by in most Dendro teams without Nahida if you have Baizhu. I do, for instance. Bloom teams being the exception. You need Nahida there. Another cool thing about Nahida, she's an Archon. She will always age well. Dude, she's only a 500-year-old baby. Plus, she gets crit rate for building EM on her, so she can have a crit build too. She hasn't had much to do with Fontaine's meta in particular, but she did introduce New Valet Hyper Bloom for those interested. For this batch of characters, Nahida wins that S tier. Good on her. By the way, if you're enjoying the video, why not consider liking and subscribing? Maybe even leaving a cool comment down below. If you do, you'll see 6 whoever you choose in a single 10 pull. Trust me. Moving on. My man, Xiao. Everybody hyped themselves up for the guy. So for starters, I would say his pull value, it can be either awful or solid. Let me explain. Lamentbo is a lot stronger now. Farazan way back came to the rescue, and then Farina joined the fray, and now recently Xianyun. With this waifu-shaped final piece of the puzzle, Xiao could become a top carry. He already is a competent DPS choice, but there's a catch. a costly one at that. Xiao is expensive, like really expensive. As someone who has R5 deathmatch, my Xiao sucked until he got a 5-star weapon. Yes, even an R5 BP weapon felt lame compared to Staff of Homa. Now imagine using anything less than him. He's a hyper carry. Hyper carries tend to be expensive like this, but Xiao feels particularly unplayable without hyper investment. Look at Nuvele. Investment makes him a lot better, true, but he's still strong with a cheap 4-star choice at C0. Same cannot go for Xiao. The only other hyper carry that's this expensive is Ayaka, who needs a Mist-Splitter, Kokomi, and Kazuha as a bar to entry. Let's run over everything Xiao needs. 5-star weapon, C6 Farazan, preferably Farina and Zhongli. C4 Jean is pretty nice too. And now throw Xianyun into that mix. Also requiring very optimized substats, you can expect at least 2 to 3 months of artifact farming for him. Or more. To be fair, stat building with Farina has become a bit better. Mayo, Hunter, Lament, anyone. He also has competition in Wanderer. You may already have cons for Wanderer from pulling C6 Farazan, yet with Xianyun's introduction, Xiao may beat him out now. But if you only need an Animo DPS and already on Wanderer, Xiao may not be as big of a deal for you. Another thing to note about his pull value. While he is a strong carry, especially with Xianyun releasing, you have a ton of on-field DPS units to choose from. So if you've already invested a ton into another hyper carry, Xiao's not going to feel as valuable to you. He is powerful, but not necessary. So if you're a new player with a few supports, skip. But for older players that already own most of Genshin's finest units, Xiao will end up being a powerful, formidable choice. The amount of buffs he's received has had a serious impact on his power level. But because Dear Xiao is so expensive, I'm gonna rank him at A value-wise for this patch. And now for the cunning, elegant Yae Miko. This box has quite a few qualities, namely being the strongest aggravate DPS thus far. She beats Kaching's performance quite heavily. She would be her main competition if you're only looking to play a viable aggravate team. Kaching will fit the bill fine for that, but Yae is still a considerable upgrade, so if you want to capitalize on aggravate fully, then Yae is the way to go. She's also an excellent driver of Fischl, both complement each other's main weaknesses. Fischl provides Yae with energy and a lot of single target DPS from Oz and her A4 procs. Playing a good Yae aggravate team also isn't expensive. Yae, Fischl, any 4-star Dendro and Hakushin Sucrose will serve you fine, and you can still get massive upgrades from TDDS Baiju or using Nahida. Kazuha is also amazing in this team. She's also pretty good for a hyphen spread. Electro plus Dendro is where this woman thrives. You can also use her in more niche setups, like Chevrus Overload for Raiden Hyper, but she won't be as strong in these teams. Yae's main issue is field time. Yeah, she's a sub DPS, but her full rotation takes a long time to execute, so building a team around Yae is more efficient. Miko is also cheap to build. She has an excellent budget option in the Fontaine craftable Catalyst, while also having decent cons and a SIG, which is a 20% increase. So nice vertical investment options as well. So in my books, Yae's not a bad choice for a first 5-star if you're new. And is nice for veterans as well. You only need Fischl to get Yae going. And also having a new upgrade in Golden Troop is nice too, since it's part of a very resin efficient domain. So Yae's aged well and continues to do so. This makes her quite a safe pickup. In this batch, I'm ranking her with Xianyun in B. A solid choice which you won't regret, but you don't need her, which is why she's not higher. Thing is, much like Cloud Retainer, if you already have the standard 5-star, her value decreases quite a bit. If you have Kaching already, then really she's just fine enough. But I have no trouble recommending Yae to anyone, even Kaching fans. Give her a spin, she's pretty strong. Well, if you ask me, Nahida is the obvious choice for who to pull this patch. The Dendro Archon with insane flexibility that grants huge power to many teams. If you already have her, then Constellations it is. But if you've got her already, then Yae will be your next best bet. Nice bang for your buck, great DPS with a fun playstyle. While Xiao is expensive, I do recommend him if you have the tools to play him. This man is nothing short of insane when given time and care. He's also a cutie patootie. Xianyun, despite being the new flavor of the month, she will be pretty good, but if you already have Jean, not needed. And for all my fellow Xiao enjoyers out there, she'll upgrade your Xiao and nuts him out. As for Yae, if you already have Kaching, then you don't need her. She'll serve you fine in Aggravate, but Yae will already be a pretty neat upgrade to the team. Well, hopefully this video was able to help you decide who to pull for in patch 4.4. This has been Juice, signing out. I wish you all a day full of good luck so you may pull the wife or husbando of your choice. Goodbye.